Hello people, Samuel Owen here in England. I'm the Son of Man, the new Christ, and exactly what the title says. Neo-Christ, extraordinary strategist, faithful, honest, righteous, wise, warlord, leader at war. Extraordinary strategist is a term specifically that I heard someone saying that was another translation in another Bible, not the KJV of what we're more familiar with. Wonderful Counselor. I'm the Good Shepherd. We're all in the Two Kingdom War. You don't need to see me. It's better if everyone can see the text. Need to make a few points quickly in an order in a row. Explaining the Two Kingdom warfare, shepherding war from the top. Like I originally started with people against secret societies, I've had to since just it's a mess, and they're just dividing and replacing and dealing with anyone anti-establishment with trolls. I'm usually explaining the bottom end of the shepherding war. Right, so you need to be able to come to terms with some absolute truth. So you can't understand that I'm definitely the return of Christ, but you're going to have to make your mind up on whether you think I'm honest or not. Decide whether to trust me, believe me. You're going to have to make your mind up whether I'm the Son of Man, the return of Christ. But I am the one giving you this information. And people should be acknowledged, credited for what they're doing, but there are disingenuous people. There are people credited for achievements when what they're doing is satanic. There's all kinds of different stuff. But it's the end of the world, and I'm the warlord revelator. So strategically, the reason that I'm coming to teach and reveal is because I'm to be acknowledged as the source of the revelations, the strategist, the leader, to be gathered to, because we're in a war. And we're trying to fight a hierarchy, change the way it's going, that they're dominating, taking it their way. Building up the grid. Actually, it's the Fallen's kingdom using forbidden knowledge. And that's where the advanced science and tech's coming from. And then they have all sorts of diabolical things that they're doing with that. And the prophecy of the return of Christ is that he's the human savior, in tandem with holy angels saving the day ultimately and winning the war and getting rid of the enemy. That the enemy are technocrats that are aiming to have a false religion, a satanic kingdom, dominion, mark everyone, kill everyone else. So all along for the last few years, I'm at the top, the apex, where you should have all heard of Jesus and Paul, and Jesus said you must be born again, and you should have heard that there was 2 world wars, and perhaps by now I've already heard that there's a rumoured 3rd world war, and there's lots of things I don't talk about. But that's all just underneath all the stuff that I'm talking about when I come in at the Two Kingdom shepherding war from the top. Because the Fallen's kingdom in the earth, the Black Sun cult kingdom, they have the world banks. They already have a system of international law that's seemingly Paulinist, Christian, and harmless, and they can't kill people off with it. They've got the United Nations. They've got a stranglehold over all the 200 nations. where all the institutions mainstream are for the bowing to and presenting, whether it's going without saying or not. Everything in Satan's earth, from the top and the mainstream, the government, the what's officialdom, all the governments, the militaries, the space agencies, the churches, everything's representing the globe model, the globe, like heliocentrism with the Big Bang. All the churches do. These nations, 200 of them, might claim that they're the holy hierarchy, the holy kingdom in the earth. The state of Israel is doing. Vatican City is doing. There's around 50 to 53 Muslim nations. It's the only thing I checked on before I did this stream. The nations are going to fight each other. But it's the fallen, the Satanists, the banksters, the secret societies that have got it from the top, that have got it all. Who's going to fight them? There's trolls coming up being sent out from all the nations in a two-kingdom war. Who's going to fight them? Because a secretive, elitist, technocratic network, very powerful, advanced, organised, just has the stranglehold everywhere. So the focus needs to be on Satanism, the fallen, secret societies. Two-kingdom minded about the two-kingdom war. Not religious or patriotic, two-kingdom minded. Now, Muslims, it's Islam against everything else. That's two-kingdom minded. And their block of 50, 53 nations would all fold under one chief one to have its official one national headquarters that's at the top. And the British crown is at the top of the Masonic world system. They're making all these mayors Muslim. Prince William's had an Islamic centre in Virginia a long time. This is tippy-toppy knowledge that I'm putting out that no one gets and knows and understands to be able to piece together. Some people can think about Charles and William as being the Antichrist and they look at their coat of arms and stuff. But you don't get that that's the Black Sun Masons Order of Garter fallen, repping as Paulinists, letting out the pseudoscience to allow the atheists, and then after the Second World War, where they're in bed with the Nazis and the British intelligence and Crown was above the Nazi double agents working on the same staging. Staging of the Second World War. Now, there's three immediate things that spring to mind that would wake everyone up. You're under Nephilim world banksters, you're in concave earth. The Satanists control all the militaries and just pit them together to stage these wars when they wanted to. That's all frightening and shocking for people at first. For any under 8-year-olds that could hear that and understand that. I imagine. This is a screenshot of someone's video, American, on YouTube, presenting William Guy Carr's book, Satan, Prince of This World. It's outlining there was a letter sent from an American top Mason planning things for the military, for the whole satanic world kingdom, sending a letter to an Italian Mason outlining, drafting, blueprint for 3 international quote-unquote world wars. And the patriots think that those world wars were some sort of stepping stone in the timeline of the Two Kingdom War, in the sense that whichever side of it you were on, that was the good or the holy nations. Like you were the Paulinisty ones. So you thought you were all holy, and then you thought, like, at that point, the Germans and the Japanese were the satanic ones. So they were all just satanic nations, and then these people were Christian or born again or not in the nations. It's just a Two Kingdom War, and the Satanists control Britain and America. Britain's above the Germans and the Americans, and the fallen have had the Americans that are closely with the British when they separate the East and the West, and these factions against those factions. The fallen, the Masons, dropped an atomic bomb, a nuke, on the Japanese city of Nagasaki, where the most amount of Christians had gathered, and it was the most densely, heavily populated Christian area that they targeted. We're in a long-running ancient Two Kingdom War in the modern day now, and it's various types of warfare. But there's been a lot of focus and planning with regards to what they're expecting, and from the prophecy of the return of Christ. We have 2012 on the Mayan calendar, that's serpent seed fallen calendar, the Mayans, and the origins of that calendar. It's not Zion. It wasn't Israelites, Hebrews, or anything like that. That it was the fallen, that part of the fallen's kingdom, given the date 2012. Now, the more you know. So I actually came up and started the war. Started warring against them as a leader at war against the fallen in 2012, when I founded People Against Secret Societies on Facebook. Christ had given a prophecy showing the good seed, actually, at Matthew 13:37. Then the people in the Holy Kingdom, the children of the kingdom, are the good seed, which is Christian concavers. The fallen, the enemy, are aware of that piece of information. They've got a lot. They've got all the knowledge, the awareness. They know everything that the little farmed, schooled, gate-kept underlings of gotten more info, more clarity on what's what, where, what came from. So they hide and gatekeep. In Two Kingdom War, Fallen planned 3 world wars. They staged 2 well before the return of Christ. Founded the United Nations and the State of Israel, which is known to be through the Rothschilds, which have the World Banks and elongated skulls and are the Black Sun, Luciferian, satanic kings in the earth. So you'll hear trolls and truthers, occultists, proponents explaining that the Rothschilds are connected with the Satanism and are high up with it. So there's order and structure in the earth. The Masons control the world for the Black Sun cult, for the Fallen. They have done for 700 years. So what the Templars were just like, they've got both sides. So they have Islamic militarism, and the Paulinists under mind control don't want to be wiped out. So then you're going to push to go to war and defend and take on the jihad. But it's just they've got both factions: Muslims, Paulinists, hierarchy, Paulinist Templars, Crusaders, Paulinists under mind control. Act Paul Peter are false, and it's the Fallen's kingdom, ultimately, that they're military leaders for their fallen kingdom at work and at war that are connected to or responsible for the false religions, the mind control, the intelligence networks. So it's a program of mind control is a false religion. So it's a scientific psychological program tarted up in disguise as, rather than a religion, tarted up in disguise as the correct religion. And then later on, they're making the interfaith movement, and like they're all good enough. We can all get along. Any religion will do. And all the underlings under them are like, no, gobsmacked, detaching from that mainstream lie and attitude of this interfaith now, because they've got control of them all from the top. We're in the Matrix. I found this is a lot of confusion. It said Anunnaki, which is like aliens for the Globers. Above where it says Bankster, I've blacked it out. Just explaining to you, it's the Nephilim. Scripture. First Enoch, Book of Enoch, Genesis. A Gospel according to Phillips, actually bringing just absolute direct clarity to that Cain was a hybrid. First Enoch explains Gadriel led astray Eve, and that's where we get the word God from. The point of this video, as well as getting out what the title's saying and the good seed and such, I'll get back around to and explain in a sec. So here we have a triangle, not a pyramid. Here's a triangle of how they control, the mind control, their power over the people. So they have money as your tool for exchange and incentives, and they control it, and they can bribe people off and offer blank checks and stuff. But the money there, that's the one at the top, the money, then Down where it says spiritual, that's all types of media, and the Holy Kingdom has the word and scripture and like a church and whatever would be holy, and the fallen have fallen equivalents and similar things and other things and more modern things. It's all types of media. The spiritual stuff, the church, education, the media, news. So money, media, and then military, meaning force, armies, militaries, police, security, enforcers, hitmen, physical, maybe trolling, pressure, mental. So lawfare, law as well, law. The military, the one with the authorities, they're writing laws, they're going to enforce those laws and everything. So to simplify that, it's like the 3 M's: money, media, military. You see 200 nations, but the fallen have one international system like that. And that's what this is explaining, that you've got 3 separate city-states or like little nations that are connected to different nations. In ways, they're all representing Paulianity. One you'd be looking at and thinking Catholicism, another you'd be looking at and thinking Anglicanism, and military, DC, some sort of Paulinists, but it's actually fake Jews that have got the banks and the money in all of these places. And you got the fake Jewish Nephilim in Switzerland, and under them, the picked popes of the Peter stuff with the black sun logos on the collar that come and go, that hoard wealth, that have got Swiss Guard. These nations here in Switzerland, and then the Rothschilds that are at the top of it have made the state of Israel, and it's the fallen. So they've got the nations and international law, and they're making that Antichrist world kingdom that it was talking about on that page where it was talking about 3 world wars, that after the 3 world war, after the 3 world wars, after the 3rd world war, they're hoping to do away with the enemies, perhaps the return of Christ, and establish their world kingdom that's satanic, but they're getting everyone marked under it, thinking that it's basically holy, good. Now, Trump as a Republican will fight the Democrats. Like, the Democrats are his enemy for the psyop, for the rhetoric, for the show, for the camera, because he's in competition. As a Republican, he's at war with Democrats to stay in power more than anything. As a Mason, Trump's a Mason. They've got everyone divided as Paulinists that are trying to be Christians. They've got Judaism with Noahide law, Islam with Sharia, over Sunni Islam, repping as it Chief Postmaster General's British monarch. They've got the Leadership Council for Jews and Muslims. The majority is there's so many people out there under mind control that are just going to serve for the money and for the government, for the current system, which I absolutely just oppose and just come at humanity like, your governments are the sheriff. Forget King Richard, or King Richard and the sheriff are the Satan and the bad guys, and I'm just Robin Hood. I've got just something just absolutely more just humble and human and different down here going on, if you get me. And you're just all in the same predicament. I'm the Son of Man, I'm fighting the fallen. I'm a born-again Christian, I'm a strategist, I'm trying to connect, link everyone up, get certain gate kept hidden, concealed truths and secrets and information out while I lose the evidence that I've gained and, re-upload round and round in circles, keep losing it on my own, struggling. I'm in England calling out the British monarchy, as well as all the other nations, as in the hands of the technocratic, satanic elite and under the fallen. That's why they're there. That's why those ones have it. The fallen are so very advanced and at this point well organized and experienced and done lots, and it's their grid, it's their internet, and you're their slaves, so you can use it. If you wake up to them and join me as Christian concavers, if they come at you offering a blank check, don't sell out. But other than that, watch that they don't kill you. Watch what you're doing, watch what you eat, that you don't get the virus. And see how you go on if you try to do any work online with your computer, your device. Because Elon Musk's with all these, and Tommy Robinson's with Elon Musk's dad and Elon. And I've called it out, I've explained how it is. Your little spring chickens, you only know so much. I'm a genius, I'm the return of Christ. I didn't know about trolls or concave earth till I was like 30 or something. I started a war against trolls. I'm a genius seer, I'm the return of Christ. They infiltrated me when I was on the lookout for them. Some of them were duping me. This is very difficult. This is tippy-toppy apex stuff where everyone's just religious, patriotic, bias, spring chickens, clueless. Man, I'm the good shepherd in the Two Kingdom War. There are 200 nations and dozens of religions with thousands of denominations and all this stuff and thousands of Masonic lodges, and just I lead against the whole fallen's kingdom as a strategist. That's a quote from Vladimir Lenin. Okay. Controlled opposition, the definition. I'm going to read this out. Controlled opposition, a strategy in which an individual, organisation, or movement covertly controlled or influenced by a third party, and the controlled entity's purpose is something other than its publicly stated purpose. Controlled opposition, a strategy in which an individual, organisation, or movement is covertly controlled or influenced by a third party, and the controlled entity's true purpose is something other than its publicly stated purpose. The controlled entity serves a role of mass deception, surveillance, and or political/social manipulation. In most cases, the controlled party is portrayed as being in opposition to the interests of the controlling party. In most cases, the controlled party is portrayed as being in opposition to the interests of the controlling party. Controlled opposition strategies serve to preempt or neutralize true but negative information by having it be disclosed or championed in a skewed, stigmatized manner by a person or group. Controlled opposition agents preempt or neutralize true but negative information by having it be disclosed or championed in a skewed or stigmatized manner by a group or person. The truth can be peppered with disinformation, or the truth of the message can be neutralized by association due to the extreme, radical, or unpalatable positions held by the controlled entity, group, or person who is disclosing the information or is championing a position. The stigmatized or adulterated truth in turn steers people away from truthful information, which would normally cause criticism or a serious backlash against the controlling party. Stigmatized truth also greatly inhibits independent research into sensitive areas, usually involving criminal acts by the controlling entity, and serves to manipulate social dynamics in a manner in which it becomes taboo to publicly discuss sensitive, albeit critically important subjects. A controlled opposition is a protest movement that is actually being led by government agents. We're in the earth in a two-kingdom war, and we're against the fall and the Satanists, and they've got the governments, and everyone's blind to it. You've been their slaves, little glowbeds for 500 years. Slaves for longer, but glowbeds majority for 500 years. Most people have never heard of concave earth. The government and these controlled opposition agents are your enemy. They're everyone's enemy. They're the humans' enemy. If any of the humans are the trolls, they're just sellouts to humanity. They're serving Nephilim and the Fallen. Right, so a controlled opposition is a protest movement that is actually being led by government agents. Nearly all governments in history have employed this technique to trick and subdue their adversaries, their enemies, their opponents. Basically, not the other nations, the people, the little people. To stop a new bunch coming up to overthrow a monarchy as hero leaders, or make a point like a Robin Hood, or make a new political party that's going to be out of their control. So reform's not out of their control. Reform just bows to that stuff. Rupert Lowe might be just his own man, and he's only just bowing to the mind control and the money, but he's founded Restore, let's say, and they don't want that. It's nothing to do with them. But he's still just an old globe-head chump that's not even a Paulinist, and he bows to the Rothschilds without knowing it. He bows to the money. He bows to the British Crown. He's just going to carry on. They've separated church. Oh, that's all just way above his head. He's talking about little political groups. Just a political party, political group. Man, will you learn your lesson, people? As you keep dismissing what I'm saying, if 2 million people were listening now, you'd have all realised I was the return of Christ and leader, and you'd all be like, wow, this is well smart, this is well uppity stuff. But you're all just like, you just look around and no one else is looking. So I've already told you Prince William's got Islamic centres in America, and like, who else is telling you that? And you're acting like it's not a big deal. Watch it be a massive big story next year when one person that's listened to by people just mentions it, and then it starts getting, then everyone's copying it, and every little dumb, and even the trolls might join in, but every little dumb wannabe, like reasoned and Baraka, everyone will be touching on it. Ooh, Prince William's actually got Islamic centre. You're waiting to like learn about it. I've been on a path as the leader, looking out for stuff. So we need to know. We need to know where's headquarters, which human in the earth that they show us, that they tell us about, with a job, with a position, with a role. Which one's at the top of their hierarchy? And they're telling you it's King Charles, king of the world, king of the universe, and he has his son William, and he has his son George. But Evelyn Rothschild were poking Prince Charles on his chest before he died. There's a photo of that out there. And Evelyn and Jacob have died now, and Nathaniel, or someone else, is secretly above King Charles. And then it's not God, it might be Gadriel, but it's not Elohim the Father above Charles or the Rothschilds. That's the fallen's world you're into. You're all sowed by the devil. I'm the Lord. So I'll just read this out again. A controlled opposition protest movement that is a controlled opposition is a protest movement that is actually being led by government agents. Nearly all governments in history have employed this technique to trick and subdue the little citizens, the little people, the anti-establishment, because end of the day, they've got programs and mainstreams. If you stick to that, you're a good little citizen. But there's the anti-establishment one, and that's what all these wannabes are playing around on YouTube and Facebook, is it not? That you think that you're calling out Satan on its internet, on its site, when it has the control to remove whatever it wants. I'm Christ, they've removed 5 of my channels. You're all blind playing underlings. You can bow and obey appreciatively, or see what happens when you run off to play Source of Revelations of one of mine, even if it's a seemingly mediocre, trivial piece of just strategic information about a shepherding war or something. I'm the genius strategist leader, so if I'm not, go away, and if I am, gather everyone to me. And Vladimir Lenin, it was him that said the best way to control the opposition is to lead it themselves. He was saying to lead it ourselves. That's the Masons, the Satanists. He'd have been known as maybe like a Russian or a communist or a Bolshevik or something. I'd have to check, but that's where you're all just running around with your stupid little, instead of just that's a fallen tear from Satan, you're into Bolshevism and like literally, like when I say communism, you're going to be like, that's just a satanic Masonic form of communism. So the Holy Kingdom has it's like a form of fascism, and you all living as Christian concavers off the grid as Christians, born again or not, but all as the good seed just living would be like holy communism. So you're all just small-minded, battered little people, and you only know the construct, the matrix, the fallen mental program that you're in about words and symbols and definitions and boxes and programs, where it's with or without Paul. If religion, it's with or without Paul. If you want Jesus, it's with Paul, and if not, then you go to Muhammad, and then they've got their version of Jesus. And it's sorry, but there's more than, well, obviously there's more than Catholicism and Sunni Islam. And so what you're doing to me is saying something that you was born into that was already there, that was wrong, must be one of the right ones because it's big and famous and popular and it was already when you got here. But when Christ returns and it's just new and he's just on his own, no, it can't be because it's just new to you and you're an underling and you don't get it. But yeah, Count Mirabeau was part of the controlled opposition, apparently, as an example. I don't know if this is fiction or true, but Count Mirabeau was part of the controlled opposition because although everyone thought he was supporting the revolution against the monarchy, in reality he supported the monarchy and was a personal friend of the king. He was a government agent. So any of these little spies and infiltrators, they're being used to control the opposition. There's lots of forms of trolling, including the Apostle Paul. You know, Saul of Tarsus, that's known as St. Paul or Apostle Paul. And there's prophecy in John chapter 21, towards the end, verse around 17, 18. That Peter will be sort of led, taken somewhere he don't want to be going in his older age. So this is my cause, and look at it. If he stopped being like paranoid, hateful, New Christ made that after a lot of war and strategically and logically. Actually, I've just laid claim to the category, as we were calling it, that it was only just starting to be said the first few times. I got a clip of a troll agent that was a flat earther troll agent that was made into a concaver agent after 2018, after I'd called out LSC. Holly Hughes was sent out to put a bit of concave earth out, paired up with Horry Sheet, the Horry Sheet show that remained a flat earther with a big flat earth audience. So back then, 8 years ago, because I'm come up against the trolls and rivaling LSC and all of it and try to gather people over to me, and they're just removing my stuff, but getting busy getting concave earth out to everyone else now after all this hiding it all this time. So people are crediting Holly and not thinking it's any special, and they don't know what's going on, they don't know who to credit. There's just billions of you clueless. You're not all as fit as Alicia Silverstone, but you're all as clueless as that chick in that film and in real life, where she's just an airhead. She doesn't have a clue about LSC and Alicia Silverstone. She's probably earned more money than you. Did I tell you that they offered me a blank check about, like, stop it with this kid? We don't like this. Satan don't like this. He's got a checkbook. He don't like this. He don't want to do anything with it, but he's just like, he was prepared to pay me for a blank check to just put it in the bin and just stop and just quit this. But Christ's not going to do that with his kingdom cause, is he? He's not going to do that with the good seeds, is he? Well, I didn't anyway. So, never sell out because you'll end up going to hell. Unless you can sort of backtrack and repent in time and just give it all away and regret and feel stupid and have it on your legacy and fix it. Yeah, if you've got time. Because you usually have, like, until you die, which could be of natural causes, unless the enemy's out there at work with booby traps and try to get to you, and killers and jihadis, which there is a lot of them these days. They nail bombs and they'll just drive cars into you. So the government are putting bollards up to appease the people and the parents and the children. But you're all just mad, crazy little trash minds, and you should take a leaf out of my book or just hear what I'm saying from the Tree of Life, digest it, become this good seed that I've sowed. So there's two in the field. It's a two-kingdom war. Starting to feel a bit like Sesame Street now. We're talking to the children about the number 2. Ready? So, children, I love you. Probably, likely, just like nearly as much as Jesus did. Almost. And I'm doing my best. It's hard to love anyone as much as Jesus did. So I'm trying, though. I probably love everyone most in the earth, and the enemy are aware of that. But, right, children, there are 2 in the field in the world, because people are with me or against me, gathering or scattering. There are 2 in the field, people with the Lord or they're not. And the rules have changed because you've got to just be the good seed now to be with me, rather than like born again in spirit and you don't have a leader, a king, no one leading against fallen, a strategist. So I'm the Lamb, I broke revelations, I've come up, I've done it all, I'm on the hill, I've sown the seed, declared the decree, and there are 2 in the field. The good seed, children of the kingdom, Christian concavers, and we're doing the campaign of Armageddon, spreading the seed out to all nations, and then the end shall come, when the holy angels will be sent forth to sever the wicked and get them out of the Son of Man's kingdom, and then the good seed children of the kingdom will be left behind. Just Christ was saying just, oh, that's how they've translated it, and alone, just them on their own, just the good seed, just good seed on their own, without the enemy being moved. So there are ghosts, and we might start seeing more and more. There are zombies, there are trolls, there are tears. The tears and trolls are zombies. The ghosts, if you saw one, that would probably be a sort of on the fallen's side. But yeah, there are zombies, and people might start talking about a zombie apocalypse, and you might start seeing more people eating animals or doing crazy stuff, because it's the end of the world. And I'm right. You're going to see that, like, you're all just demonic, and I'm the Lord. So you're like with me or against me, and everyone's zombies. But you can be with me and campaign and try help some zombies before they like try eating you or getting raptured or something. But there are ghosts, but there are no Ghostbusters, and we can't call Trump or anyone else to fight the Masons or the Satanists, because they're all them. That's an inside job. They run the phone lines. We can't do much with the digital activity. It's up to them, and they'll be aware of everything that we do, and we can't plan in secret online, but you can try whisper, hope that a fallen angel or a demon is not around you or listening, because they've got a kingdom and they communicate. They've got all types of communication networks, and there's ghosts, but there's no Ghostbusters. And who are you going to call? Because I am Christ, and there's 2 in the field, and I'm the Lamb, the Son of Man, and the earth's concave, and everyone needs to be born again. And look at them all just clueless and just lost, and then some of them are wannabes and some of them are foul men. You're listening to a total, like, legend, epic hero that has fought the good fight, man, fulfilled prophecy, turned down the blank check because he's not a sellout, and that's try to, like, you wouldn't know, so I'm pointing it out to demonstrate it, but it's hardly demonstrating it if you can't believe what I'm telling you. I turned it down. They didn't send it me, so I don't have it to show it. I didn't get a screenshot of when someone asked me, one of their trolls asked me. it's the same predicament for everyone. If you're not a Nephilim, if you're not a troll, then you're a human zombie until you become Christian concavers with me. And we've just got the campaign of Armageddon to get it out. And whatever anyone else naive underlings think, every group faction are the tares, are stuck under dominating Catholic Sunni Islam, under the secret society Masons, banksters under the fallen, and holy angels are coming to exterminate everyone that don't bow to me and come into my kingdom and appreciate. I'm the light of the world. I'm ugly, sweaty, greasy, chumpy troll called Rick SPARROW said. So now the truth's been revealed, and let's go have a laugh at Rick and the rest of you that are going to not accept it and gatekeep it and be against me scattering instead of just with me. I'm starting to campaign, gathering offline. So yeah, Father's Dynamos, credit to me for that. Plum Bob experiment proves the Earth's concave, but we've got loads of other stuff. LSC was revealing CGI and CMOR data of heaven. So there's rivalry and heavens being seen opened and this shepherding war going on in concave Earth. What did I say I'd show you? Oh yeah, the truth's been revealed, and one day, as he should, that the Son of Man might become more important to you than anyone else you've met, heard of, know, seen, or yourself. Like rightfully so, because it's new Christ, it's the Son of Man. Your war really is to get under him. You just before him or against him, and just you'd be under him in his hierarchy, or you're against him, and like that's your war, to be under him in his hierarchy and serve and help his hierarchy. Do whatever he's saying. Your war, little humans, is just you're in the two kingdom war. You could only be holy or fallen. I'm Christ. I'm the human and Christian leader against the fallen, the Nephilim. Until you can handle it and accept it and bow and obey and join me and help. What do you think it spells out from my perspective in my seemingly working model? It does to me. That you're a scattering sowed by the devil tear that's doing something nothing for the fallen, scattering against me, accusing me of being a waste of time, a vain false Christ, a nobody. The cat is out of the bag. Superman's a rip-off of the Paulinist prophecy. Batman's a rip-off of the real thing. LSC was the Joker, and he told you that, and they still show you that while they've retired him, but they don't really come telling you that. Not so often, not so much, I don't imagine. But you get LSC videos with the Joker in it predominantly. And what was it? Was it maybe Neo fighting the gatekeepers or an agent? You might want to start wondering which one he's projecting that their teams, which side they're on about or whatever. But yeah, LSC projects the Joker, not the Penguin or Catwoman or even the Riddler, not Batman, but the Joker. And I can account for all the others in this madness, with the Flat Earth Penguins, Feppy and Pepe, and Cheryl, the concave Catwoman, Kitty Loves Wheat, the Kitty Catwoman. And Josh came along with his clown nose. And it's in a cave. And I'm the bat that sowed the seed. So they put out the virus and blamed it on the bat. I'm the king. It's a two-kingdom war. Before I could declare my decree and come on the cloud with it on my head, they put out the crown virus. Told Rick I was Son of Man, Messiah. Pointed out Psalms 2:6. I'm on the hill as well. Wait a minute, Sam. I lived on a hill once. Wasn't sure if he was trolling at all. I thought it was genuine. Didn't know if he was dumb or trolling back then. Later, it seemed more likely that he's actually a troll agent that was just, doing a good job at acting. But when I look back, there was a lot of fake acting going on for about 18 months while I was being infiltrated. Top of the pyramid now, people. Top of the pyramid now, boys. Listen, my decree's for like 2 months, so you can just see the light and bow and obey, or perish, because you're not welcome on the bandwagon later, just because everyone else has joined. So you think that it's all about just getting you to just eventually just go, oh yeah, then like I'll step to the left, I'll step to the right out of Satan's way, not because you screamed it at me or are the Lord or proved anything, no, but because everyone else has 10 years later. Like, if everyone else has, that's the only reason that you're gonna think that you're welcome in my kingdom, is because all the other humans did. So yeah, because it's just a kingdom of just sheep that will blow around with the wind and the majority. No, it's not that. It's a kingdom of people that can see the light, have some freaking, not laser beams, but respect and appreciation. You know what I mean? I as good as turned down $100 million to keep leading this cause, and then you all just reject it. But let's have a laugh at what Rick came and did as a troll. So put up some stuff, he's never bothered, and then I put this one up. So the fact that he's come and commented, is he really that strategic in defense or been sent or what? But players seems more like it fits in with that. He's genuine. He's genuine. He's been keeping an eye, and now he's really triggered because he knows that I think that I'm the Messiah, and he's coming in to say, no, you ain't. But he doesn't say, no, you ain't, Sam. But let's look what he does right. That doesn't say, it's not you, you're not him, you're not the Messiah, or something. He puts a message, and that's what he's meaning along with it. Brackets. So we'll have a look what he's wrote, and it's really what he was getting at. The whole point why he showed up here rather than somewhere else in the world was, you're not the Messiah, Sam. Dumb or troll Rick SPARROW. And I called him Richard, and he said, it's Rick, not Richard. I'm Rick, not Richard. I could call you Dick, and I don't think anyone would think anything of it, because we call Richards and Rick's Dicks as well. So not actually saying you're a dick because like you're an annoying troll. I'm saying like you're a dick because all the Richards technically are dicks. Giggles, right? No offense to all the other Richards out there. Do you know what I mean? I'm just having a laugh, right? Because that's what it is. It's war. And what is it good for? You don't want to be at war, do you? So we balance it out with having a laugh. And it's non-violent. We're fighting so that we spread the seed, so that the angels come and get rid of the enemy, and then we'll have peace. So it's fighting in the name of peace. It's the war to end all wars. It's like the last one. It's the real one. So while everyone's waiting for the third World War with a 3, we just do the World War Z. Because it's like, it's the zombies, and we're fighting for the zombies. It's the World War about the zombies to try get them to being under me with me. Yeah, Rick's comment. When Messiah comes, there will be no more hiding. But until then, maybe still a little bit of hiding. But when Christ comes, no one will be able to escape. No one will not see, because He'll fly down and every eye will see. Do you get it? Like, dumb or troll, I don't know where. Do you get it? Just like, Isaiah 63. Isaiah 63. It might be the only thing that wakes you up, so you bow to me. Isaiah 63. Isaiah 63. I'm the Savior, so you all should just listen to me. Isaiah 63. Isaiah 63. Verses 3 to 5 might keep you alive if you just listen to me. Isaiah 63. Isaiah 63. You should know better by now. And you should all just follow me. Come with me. Follow me. Accompany me to Taco Bell. No, I'm joking. That was another line from Demolition Man. Right, so the Lord comes from Edom. Edom? Edom? Yeah, Isaiah 63. This is about the return of Christ. It's about the Saviour. The one that's treading the winepress in Revelation 19. That's later on because he's got followers then. He's got followers. He's treading the winepress. It's the Saviour. He's got followers. Well, look here. He's from Edom. He's alone. No one will help him. So if you just take my word for it, or you're being given it on a silver plate and you've got like 2 months to start figuring it out, looking into it, taking it seriously. Because I have a sharp sickle and it's a death threat. Like, take it seriously and like make a move in 2 months. That there is no flying Superman come down, so that literally just physically, literally just every eye sees him coming in the sky on a cloud. Every eye sees, every knee bows. And so that's it. Like, no one can miss him. Everyone's seen him. And everyone's knees bowed, but it's up to him if he wants to, I suppose, get rid of people or whatever you were thinking there. But no, it's that none of that's happening like that. He's not coming in the sky at all. He's not going to be born or arrive on the scene or at any point, just like everyone in the world's eyes everywhere see. So, you know, it's like, if you're like, well, it says every eye will see. So what you're saying, Sam, is what you're saying, that the scriptures isn't true. No, I'm saying there's like a deeper sort of symbolic meaning for that. There's a whole explanation of why he's like ascending, going like up on a cloud or whatever, but why it's specifically saying every eye sees. Well, every ear shall hear. He that hath an ear, let him hear. If you've got eyes to see, everyone around the whole world would be able to see. But what you're trying to like hypocrite fight for, that you're an underling, you've been gotten to with Revelation 1:7, you've been gotten to with Matthew 24:30, are aware that it says here and here, comes in the clouds, or every eye will see. But you weren't aware. You are now. You weren't aware all this time. Isaiah 63 is from Edom. He's alone and no one will help him. He's alone and no one will help him. So as I try to like, I'm trying to come up with a complex answer that's explaining the symbolic and the statement. I'm trying to explain that every eye will see or something. You're just not accepting and running around and not able to fit into a working model, and then come back with it and say that you can place where in your supposed working model that he's from Edom and that he's alone and no one's with him and no one will help him. You can't put that anywhere in. He flies out the sky and everyone sees him. Right, so this won't be before that point then. So you're saying it's after this. You're saying after he's flown out the sky and everyone's seen him, somehow he's from Edom, but that no one's with him. So everyone saw him, but no one's with him. Is that what you're saying? Final answer, because I'm going to end the stream. Do you get it? Every eye sees. And are you a wannabe? Do you want to bow to him? Yeah. Then if you're alive and he comes, if there's any wannabes like you that really, really would, at all costs, it's their just uttermost priority, Why is no one with him, none with him? Because he's doing things, leading in ways, requiring things, and he himself is just how things, ways people don't understand, weren't expecting. Galore, which might be how pussy galore or whatever factors its way into James Bond, because they call me Austin Powers, which rips off James Bond. He's like the hero, like the Christ, like the Neo, like, but they're making a satanic MI5 military agent that's got John Dee's tag name 007. And I'd literally just have to fill you in on the rest, wouldn't I? You know, like, people are aware that Ian Fleming was MI5 and he picked this 007 thing to be the Bond. And all you're aware of is Ian Fleming, James Bond, 007, Austin Powers. Right, well, I'm Christ, and I heavily touch on the John Dee stuff. That it's not microbes, it were fallen angels, it was Satan that told John Dee and them how to disseminate this information about silicone and Project Stargate to penetrate the firmament. You're lucky, wee man. That's Austin Powers. The grotesquely huge, obesely big one. The ginger one. Sneak a peek at these while we're here. And remind you, you all must be converted as children. I fulfill prophecy on a shoestring budget. I'm a born-again Christian. The Father's in me, doeth the works. You, Jude verse 16, admire that gangsters have had the control and the power and big organizations and advantages and run the show and dominate. Gangsters have banks and run the world and militaries. Gangsters run politics. Satanic gangsters troll the world and have tech and fun and friends and family and all the advantages. So you're just looking at my, like, yeah, that's, you know, can you accept it's a good tiny mustard seed? Can you give it that? Nah. If you could figure out the Earth's concave and that Acts Paul Peter are false and that there are trolls and that I'm not a false Christ, then you could accept, well, all right, then fair enough, it's a reasonably good, a so good, a 7, 8, 9 out of 10 seed that's mustardish. It's really small there, Sam, yeah. So you're just little underlings under Satan thinking that just go with the numbers, just go with anything diabolical that's been painted pink or white, anything fake, any fool's gold, anything diabolical, satanic, because you're with me or against me. You'd be hot, cold, lukewarm, trying, around, annoying, lukewarm. I counsel to buy the gold. That's everything I've been doing and speaking about. I'm the good shepherd. It's about, we have enemies that divide and conquer, deceive, making half the world atheist with the globe lie, the pseudoscience, macroevolution, saying you've evolved. That's what that does. That puts atheists under government rather than a deity that had a message, which is the Father and the Son, with the word and the law. And I'm them, I'm him. I declared the decree, sowed the seed. I war against all this. They're the Masons, which is, Mason is no Sam backwards. And I'm a good truther and looked around so much as a strategist, shepherding warrior with other strategies, not looking at the word Mason, just with other strategies as a seeker and a shepherd. I've run into multiple instances of it being shown in my face that Mason is no Sam backwards, and that they're just putting no Sam in places. Like, I challenge you to watch a documentary called The Winged Beetle. The winged beetle, as in a beetle, double E, that's got wings. And it's, well, watch it. If you can watch it, and don't blink, because you're needing to look where it quickly just zips past and shows you some cartoonish text in a circle saying no, comma, no, Sam. It ain't no anagram. What a word is backwards. That winged beetle thing touches on Jabberwocky, which is something similar now. I can't remember what it's called when you flip things around backwards. There'll be words for it. It's not anagram, because that's when they're rearranged, shuffled in a way. So it's in your face and just close there and just see the links. And so why is it saying no, no, Sam now? There's also a cartoon called Fireman Sam, as trivial as that is, but it's throwing in there that Paul McCartney had this thing called Wings and this thing called the Fireman. Where is the Fireman? So they're showing Paul, that's a false Christ, that they use Paul and John, kill Paul, have an imposter Paul, this murderous death cult that they turn into idols while they pump out this music that's got satanic stuff in it backwards and stuff. There's loads going on. And I've been the master trying to collate it, but there's loads going on. So I stick to the meat, but then I build up some trivial, and the enemy just removed it all. They've wiped out my 5 channels. So that's all the trivial from the 4 channels gone, and me not even prepared to do that. We're just running out of time. You haven't checked it out yourself. You haven't helped anyone else find it. It's just chaos under Rothschild, so enjoy it before you decide whether to bow and obey. Or otherwise, enjoy life until you perish, folks, because I'm for real. I've trumped you all as Elohim Christ, and all you can do is just be diabolical tares or wannabes that hate me. So Jude verse 16, because that's Christ returned. He's got 10,000 followers by then. So it's we haven't got to that point, that stage yet. I'm still on my own. We've got a few years. I'm dragging this out as much as I can to time it to get it done in 2029 before 2030. But I've declared a decree for people to get busy offline in their nation, make a start within 2 months. Was it this stream when I said that the military, the American military on behalf of Satan, it might be just under the British Crown, but that's not to say American people are under English people. No, the Satanists have a hierarchy. The Satanists have got British world monarchy, and the Americans is like a bigger military, but just their presidents are under the British monarch. And so the Satanists, the British, the Americans, with all the rest of them, have bombed the Christians in Nagasaki and tried to bomb the firmament for their fallen kingdom. I'm Christ, Samuel Owen. Thanks for listening. I'm going to give it a rest now for my poor neighbours that have to work all day with their slave jobs, and then they want to chill out. Before they can get to sleep or whatever. So we're all in a war, and stop being ashamed and embarrassed and wake up and prioritise. People look different and funny, and people might look like strange to you at first when you first look at someone new or something. Just get over everything. It's not important really what we're wearing. It's not really important what we sound like. Moses was saying to the Lord that he didn't feel confident as a speaker, as if he was good enough to speak or whatever. And so it's like, you're doing the Moses and I'm doing the Lord, where just prioritize, we're at war. You're good enough. You're good enough. You're good enough if you make effort to just go do that. It's about you going and presenting the message. It's not performance based. We're not giving you a marks out of 10 on how you did that. We're giving you a tick or a cross for whether you did it or not. Just a tick or a cross. You just with me or not. You just went and obeyed or you didn't. We're not judging everyone. We love you all. Trying world. The reality is it was the Son of Man, not a Superman. The enemy know that. And so you've had just 7 years of gatekeeping and wasting it all. And we have to overcome this. And so this is what I'm pushed to do strategically, all this kind of stuff. Point out to you, your IDF and politician strategists, all your, there's a guy, Raymond Ibrahim, coming up as a Paulinist saying we should have crusades. There's going to be more and more little gangs wanting to be the leader of some sort of quote-unquote Christian crusade. You're all tares. Zion is Christian concave as I'm the Son of Man. The fallen are into this stuff. Choose this day you, which master you're going to serve. It's like I told Josh Bolliero, the troll. You work for me or Satan. Yep. The Father, the Almighty Father, because I know it's a massive, grandiose claim to make, but the Almighty Father sat there. I've got the rod of iron. He's just sat there. He just wants you all under me, whether you can see that, like it or not. Because I understand how it's... We can even think how me and my cause here could be better and going better. So it's about, well, you haven't actually come and done any better. You're not source of revelations. You haven't sowed a seed. You're just critics and complaints. So if you just came with the positivity and then tried to make it better, then you might see how difficult it is to get works done and to achieve. It's all right sitting back with your popcorn and complaining, but you're just spectators and you're going to be exterminated. So it's not all right as you think. I'd have said thanks for listening, but nobody is doing so. Love you all. Bye for now.